What's up, you guys? It's Rob here. Today we'll be covering ticker symbol GME. We'll be covering it on a daily, weekly, and monthly time frame in anticipation for tomorrow's trading day, April the 13th. I'll also be covering the short interest and then also covering the news catalyst today that really made things very interesting. But before we hop into the technical analysis, if you guys can do me a favor and smash that like button for the YouTube algorithm and just give a little tickle if you need to. And then if you guys also can, make sure that you're subscribed to the channel by clicking that subscribe button and then turning on notifications by ringing that bell. Each time you guys hit the like button and subscribe to the channel and you turn on the notifications, it really helps me out with the YouTube algorithm. And I really appreciate the support that you guys have been giving me since I've started my channel. Like, I cannot thank you guys enough. And I hope to continue doing this moving forward. And thank you guys so much for the support. Like, I just can't say thank you enough. I'm really in awe of what's going on here with GameStop. Not with GameStop, my bad. Look, I can't even think straight. What's going on with my YouTube channel? I just have not expected this amount of growth this fast, but thank you guys so much from the bottom part of my heart. Like, I cannot wait to get to 1,000 subscribers and keep growing this channel, and I can't wait to watch GameStop and AMC squeeze. But without further ado, let's go ahead and hop in here into the technical analysis. So really, GameStop, much like AMC, had a very down day. We tried to have a nice rip here in the morning, but we just immediately got hit with a nice short wave that really sent the stock tumbling all the way down to essentially $140. And that's really where we traded. We traded pretty much between we hit an intraday low actually of 135. And we've pretty much been trading between that 145-ish channel. And a lot of people I noticed on Reddit have been saying like this is to cause max pain on the stock. I don't really understand this philosophy of max pain. So if you guys can, if you have any DD or anything like that, link it down in the comment section below to help me understand it, because I really don't understand this philosophy of max pain. Like, I would think if our max pain is at 145, why not have the stock at 170 to inflict even more pain? Or is there like a certain reason why? So which is one thing that I read on Reddit. But the huge thing was we definitely did see a nice short wave here during the day that pretty much brought us tumbling down. And then the next thing that I really want to point out here, let me see if I can pull up my shapes. No, you're not going to give me my shapes? Really? Come on, Weeble, give me my shapes. No? Yeah, there we go. There's my rectangle. I want to point this out. This nice rally here was sparked by a little bit of news today that happens to be GameStop is apparently looking for a new CEO. Just keep this in mind. Ryan Cohen was named chairman of the board a couple days ago. Now GameStop is looking for a new CEO. They essentially drive themselves into more of an e-commerce thing because they believe they need to completely change the whole entire company and move things forward. Which personally, I think this is actually a really good thing, is that they are looking at getting rid of the CEO. Maybe I don't know if they're going to fire him or whatever, or they're just replacing him because he wants to retire or so forth. But the fact that they're considering doing this is a good thing because it's going to drive that company in that e-commerce direction. And Ryan Cohen is making all the moves. He may not say he's making all the moves, but you definitely can tell that Ryan Cohen has a very large influence on this company right now. And I think it's really good for GameStop because I think it's going to be good for us moving forward. And honestly, I think it's going to really help partially with the squeeze too, because the quicker that GameStop can transfer from being a brick and mortar store to an e-commerce giant and show that growth through their EPS and their earnings calls, it's only going to drive prices of that stock up. And it's going to go from looking at as essentially a retail stock to more of an e-commerce giant. And if they can do this very quickly, it's going to help propel that stock price up, which is going to really help with the squeeze. So that was one article that I wanted to point out, because that was really when this article dropped, was we saw that huge rally, and then Sadly, we did sell off the whole entire rally into the close and then gave up some more into the after hours. So really, that was like the two huge things that I see today is a nice short wave that we hit. We touched our resistance here at 139, and then we traded above it for a little bit, broke through it, broke back above it, did a little bit of consolidation here, and then broke down through it, through a nice short wave here again, and then we popped above it and then essentially sold off into the close. Now, when we take a look at the indicators here, we are trading below our VWAP, which is not a good thing. We are trading below the 120 and 30-day moving average. These are two indicators that I use because the 30-day kind of gives you more of a micro perspective. The 120 gives you more of a macro perspective of where we should be trading. And the VWAP gives you more of the perspective of when people bought the stock, like did they buy it above the price that it's currently trading at or below it? I think that's what the VWAP is for, is above or below kind of thing. So a lot of people were pretty much losing money on the stock today when they were purchasing it. That's what the VWAP is telling me. So taking a look here at the RSI in the after hours, we're sitting at 42. When we closed, we're sitting here at 37. Oh, and the several times when we had these short waves, we tested oversold. We did test overbought here in the morning once, and then we tested oversold. And then when we had this huge pop, of course, we're going to touch oversold. And then we had our nice, like, I want to say our third short wave essentially. Tested oversold into that again, and then when we had the news catalyst, of course we're going to touch overbought because we're so overbought here. It's not even funny. That was like I remember looking at my phone and I just watched the green candlesticks come in, and I was like, "What the heck is going on?" The next thing I look at is Twitter blowing up because people are saying that GME is essentially firing their CEO. They're not firing their CEO. They're just looking for someone to replace him. So if they wanted to fire him, he would have been fired. So because Ryan Cohen is the head of the board now. And then we sold off here on the RSI into the close and touched oversold essentially on our way into the close. Looking at the MACD down here, we are really overextended. Like this short wave this morning, this is the lowest that I've seen the MACD in a while on a one-day perspective. We touch over here. This is a little bit overextended, but I mean, with that kind of news catalyst and that kind of movement, you're talking about moving from 139 essentially to touching 151. So you're talking $11 swing within essentially 5 to 10 minutes. So you're going to touch not oversold, overbought. So, but looking at a 5-day perspective, to give us a little bit more of a macro perspective, we've really had two really massive down days, and then Thursday's close was not good for us at all. So we're really in this downwards channel. The more that I take a look at it, we are in essentially a bull flag, and we are trading, as you can see, the purple is the 120 MA, and then the light blue is the 30-day MA. You're essentially trading below both of these indicators, which is a very bearish indicator. We are in bearish territory, and we need some form of upside move to be made to get us back into bullish territory, because right now we're just trading in a downwards channel and we need something to break it. And hopefully maybe this replacement of the CEO is a thing. So, but taking a look at the RSI, we're sitting at 45 in the after hours. When we closed at 42.91. The huge thing that I also want to point out is we had a huge sell-off here on Friday, but if you look at the MACD, it didn't dip nearly as much as it did this morning. So what that tells me is the amount of shares that had to be put into driving the price down this morning was a lot, versus we just it was slowly shorted throughout the day here on Friday. Now, the huge thing that I do want to point out is, are we going to be on SSR tomorrow? So everyone is apparently obsessed with SSR on Reddit because Lord knows why. But SSR only occurs when the stock drops 10% from its previous close. So our previous close was roughly at, what is this? 158.19. So what I'm going to do is I'll take it. I just deleted my trend line. I'll draw it again from that point all the way down to our intraday low today. And that's a 14. Well, wait. It's so hard to hit this point. It's roughly about a 14% drop. So we are going to be on SSR tomorrow, which means that the shorts will not be able to short on the bid. They will only be able to short on the ask. So only the upticks, not the downticks, essentially. So it helps the stock a little bit, but it's been proven through various Reddit DDs that they're still able to short the stock through like ETFs and all that kind of stuff. But let's go ahead and hop out here more towards a monthly view and just take a look at where we are versus where we've been, kind of thing. And this kind of helps me give myself more like support and more belief in the stock, because we really haven't been trading down at this 140 level a lot in the past month. We touched 157 here. We did have our days where we essentially sold off all the way down to 112. We were trying to retest that support of $100, but we bounced here at 112, and then we had a nice, essentially mini rocket ship to launch us back up here into the $200 range, and we sold off the next day, obviously, because when we have that much of a move, you're going to need to give some of it up. But the whole thing is we haven't been down in this territory for a while, and you can see it even here more is our 30-day moving average. We're well below our 30 and 120-day moving average. And that's what I'm looking for, is for us to hopefully tomorrow to the bull case of getting above that 100, not the 120, the 30-day moving average, which is sitting at 153.99. And if we can get above that, we should see a nice move, but we need to hold it. We can't go above it and then close a candlestick below it. It's not going to be good. We need to hold it and stay above it for a long period of time to essentially kind of flip from being in a bearish territory to a bullish territory. But on the same side, on the flip side of the coin, if we want to flip this into bearish territory, we're testing 140 right now. We've seen 112 before. So easily we know we can just break right through this support. And 112 is going to be really our next support. Not 112, 120 is going to really be our next support after 140. But when I'm taking a look here at the RSI, we're sitting at 36 here. The MACD is definitely a little bit on the overextended side. It's not as bad as it was back here, but I mean, these movements were very harsh. So take it with a grain of salt. But really the huge thing was I was looking for us to have some form of bounce coming into the day, and we really kind of sold off. And then when we got the positive news catalyst, that's what this is right here, is when we got that positive news catalyst, that's when we bounced up and actually brought ourselves out of oversold territory, and we're sitting back kind of under neutral, but not in oversold. So it's kind of a good thing we did have a bounce like I was thinking we were going to, but it wasn't as dramatic as I would think it would be to bring us more to the upside. But really, we got to remind ourselves, guys, that this stock hasn't been in this territory a lot. And when we hop over here, I want to share this because I think it's important. But if we look, where's my mouse cursor? There it is. If we look at the Ortex data, so what Ortex is you can take a look at the short interest data, you can take a look at the utilization of short interest, you can take a look at the exchange reported short interest and all that kind of stuff. And the huge thing is the short interest change is actually going down on GameStop, which is really interesting because we're still seeing the price go down. Now, the idea behind this is that apparently institutions are wanting to try to drive the stock down to the point that they can trigger SSR, and then on the bounce that this harsh move has, essentially sell because they'll buy at the lowest point and then sell on their way up, kind of thing. That's apparently the philosophy that's going around on Reddit. I I don't have anything to back that up, but apparently that's an idea. And let me know what you think down below in the comment section. But really the huge thing is our current short interest of free float is around 23.81%. Our current short interest is at 10.78 million shares. And then the return shares today was around 540K. The borrowed shares was around 250. So they gave back a lot more. So a lot of people definitely did close their short positions today. The huge thing that I want to take a look at here is the exchange reported short interest is at 10.7 million when it was previously at 10.1. So that's actually a little bit of an uptick there. But when we do take a look at the cost to borrow, 7 days ago it was 1.19. Now it's currently 1.28. And then our utilization dropped dramatically from 66.84 7 days ago to 30.35. So maybe the only thing that I can think of is that we're taking that the shorts still have a little bit here, but they've returned a lot of it. So I don't know here. Like, I really think over the past couple of days, this price has been driven down and a lot of shorts are closing out their positions, because when we take a look here, our days to cover is literally at 0.28. So it does not even take a quarter of a day for them to cover their short positions. So the huge thing that I'm looking for tomorrow is I'm hoping that we can make a bull case tomorrow and we can reverse this trend. That's what I'm really hoping for tomorrow. But honestly, over the past couple of days and seeing the volume that we've had, today we traded 16.68 million shares, which has really been a drop. And when you see that we have these down days in volume, today we had, like I said, 16.68 roughly. Friday we had 9. And then the day before that we had 10. These days when we don't really have the volume to support the stock and the price movement of it, it's a down day for us really. But if we take a larger day here, like 35 million, we still went down. 16 went down. But our days when we have a large movement, we're seeing 71 million shares. Like, this is 71 million back here. This is 38. This is 63. So really what we need is we need volume to step in and help support the stock so the shorts don't have such an easy time driving it down. And when you take a look here on the daily, this is for the whole length of the stock, so it's the max time period. We're sitting here in bearish territory. We had the reversal actually on the 19th of March, and our RSI is sitting here at 42. So we're definitely in very bearish territory. So honestly, guys, it's not looking good until we can break above the 30 MA and hopefully then retest our resistances and turn them into supports. But right now, I don't want to give a prediction or anything like that, but it's looking very bearish, guys. But thank you guys so much for watching the video. If you can, just do me a quick favor, hit that thumbs up button, and then also make sure that you're subscribed to the channel. So click that subscribe button, make sure that you turn on notifications. Also, I do have my referral link to Webull down below. It's the platform that I'm using here. You do get 2 free stocks when you join the platform, one when your account's approved, and then another when you deposit $100 on the platform. And those 2 free stocks can be valued anywhere between $10 and $1,600. And at that point, it's $10. It's a free lunch. Just pull the money out, go get yourself a lunch. But anyways, guys, if you want to use that referral link, it's down below in the comment section. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.